Hey everybody, I'm Laura Beth Wanger. Welcome back to Thoughts and Feelings. This week I want to share a somatic exploration with you, or we might call it an embodied meditation technique with you, that can really be helpful when we're finding ourselves caught in some speediness, when it feels like our internal speed is just revving, or we're kind of spinning out, or it feels like you really need to do something, but you don't know what it is, or the mental experience is quite fast and tiring, but the body itself doesn't have the energy to do too much. And you may also find in these states that although you desperately want to slow down or stop or rest, there's a feeling of discomfort when you try to do that. It's restless, or you feel a little bit like it's not okay to stop. Or alternatively, you may feel as though if you stop, you will collapse. Some other folks might have an experience of getting nauseous, or they get a headache, or something comes up for them when they try to stop. And so this is a really nice technique to use to start to find this place between really fast and really slow, where we're able to make a conscious choice to respond rather than to react. We're not caught in somebody else's energy or some external energy, nor do we feel as though we're being pushed into complete inaction. So for this technique, you'll just need something like a ball. I've got an old tennis ball here. You may have something like that, or it could just be a pen, any object at all that you can engage with, and we're going to be tossing it and grabbing it. So the origins of this technique come to me from Jane Clapp and her Movement for Trauma program. And this is one that we also shared, Jane and I, in her Jungian Somatics Movement for Trauma course that we co-facilitated. It's just such a nice way to engage with the body and the mind in a way that gets around some habitual patterns we might have, and to start to feel some things experientially that we may not have been able to notice. So to begin, I want to invite you just to engage with the ball. So we're going to look at it, or whatever your object is. I'm looking at it, I'm seeing and noting the shape, the dog hair on it, the color. And as you do that, you may find that already there's a little shift starting to happen in your body. Fine if it does, fine if it doesn't. And then if it feels okay, we'll start to hold it in the hand, turn it over, or maybe if it's a ball, roll it between the two hands, between the palms, or you can roll it on a surface. Feel the texture. Again, noting the shape. And depending on you and how you are and who you are, you may also feel okay noticing how your breath is. You may start to feel that internal speediness, either noting where it is or noting that it's starting to shift. So in everything we've done so far is part of the practice, and this is just one way to engage in meditation in a more active way. So I'm being present with an object in a way that invites me into this moment. I might get distracted, but I come back again and again. This is meditation. And now we're going to add a more dynamic element to it. So taking the object into your hand, I'm going to start with my dominant hand. I toss it into the air and I catch it. Now, it needs to be easy enough that I'm able to do it. It shouldn't be so frustrating that we've dropped it a bunch of times already. So make the risk as low as you need to. And there should be enough challenge that it's interesting. Now, as you do this, notice what your experience is of that sense of going fast, of needing to do. And then I'm going to invite you to pause and check in again. Notice the ball, its shape, its color, its texture. What's your quality of presence like now? It's okay to check in with your insides. How is my breathing? How's my internal speed? And then we return again to this action of tossing and catching. This time I want to invite you to notice what it's like in that moment where you're holding the ball. As the ball lands in your hand, what does that feel like in your body? And is there a corresponding experience mentally? Is it satisfying in some way? And now, if you can, let's make that pause just a little longer. And I'm going to ask you now to wait to throw it until you feel ready to throw it. So I toss it, I catch it, and I pause. And I check in with myself. And when I feel ready, I throw it and I catch it. Now, I've done this so many times that I have a really clear sense of what ready feels like for me. You may need to spend a little longer with this to notice. What's it like to actively make that choice? You might notice what it feels like when you throw it faster than you're ready for. And then as you slow that down, moving toward what that pace that's right for you is. If you're having a hard time slowing it down or it's too easy, again, working with the non-dominant hand or making it a little more challenging in some way can be helpful there. And again, let's take a pause and just check in and notice. If you look at that ball or the object, how is it? Do you feel as though you're seeing it a little differently? Our visual experience actually changes as we shift through nervous system states. So you may find that your vision feels different. What's your sense of the quality of the texture or the weight? What does it feel like? And then finally, if it's okay to check in internally, how is my breathing now? How is my sense of urgency? And do I feel as though I've slowed down a little bit? And then from here, you could continue to work with this a little bit more. So I'm hoping that you had the experience today of just exploring a little bit of how it is to make a choice. Am I ready to throw the ball? Rather than responding to a sense of urgency that might be kind of historical in you, or responding to an external sense of urgency that's been imposed on you, or feeling as though you need to do something, anything at all, it doesn't matter what it is. Has that shifted for you at all? And then I'm hoping too that you were able to drop into a state where you're able to notice, what is it my body would like to do? Sometimes after doing a practice like this, you may find once that speediness has shifted, we may find like, I actually am tired and now I feel like I could rest. Or you may have the experience of starting to get a little bit more back in touch with the body. Oh, I feel hungry. I have a headache. These are good things to notice because they have been there all along and we simply weren't able to notice them because we were busy working with this faster nervous system state. So once we've shifted down a little bit in gears, without crashing, without collapsing, without having to stop completely, then we're able to make a choice about what it is that we actually do need, or we're moving in that direction anyway. So you could continue, if you wanted to do this longer, you could continue now just to rest with the tennis ball, letting yourself feel the weight in your hand, letting yourself feel its texture on your skin or the pressure under your foot, and letting that be a way to stay present, stay embodied, without kind of losing awareness without dropping out of our body, without feeling like we can't be in this moment, which is something that can happen to some of us if we're sitting down to a more classical style of meditation where we close our eyes and just try not to move. So I hope this has been helpful for you. As always, I would really love to hear what your experience has been, how this felt for you, and any other thoughts you might want to share or feelings. Anyway, that's it for this week. I'll see you next time, and take care until then. Bye, everybody.